All right, everyone, welcome back to the 2023 Daceyland Open, sponsored by Wyatt Works, presented by Greatest Media Team. We are here for the back nine coverage of the MPO lead card, and I have in the booth with me Mr. Sam Henderson. How we doing, Sam?
Awesome. Excited to be watching the finale of this tournament.
Watching the finale, you played in the finale, you get the chance to look at all the fun shots from different angles here, and we have quite of a battle going on here. We have you and Nate tied at the top here with 11 under, and Lawrence is one stroke back. Looks like he's playing a lot of birdie bogey golf out here, but we have the back nine ahead of us, and you and I both know as Dacey players ourselves that this is where you're going to get a lot of your birdies.
For sure. The back is the side to score on, and it starts on hole 10, a downhill par 4 or par 3. It used to be a par 4. It's 434 feet, pretty much straight with a right finish. Doesn't matter what par is. You definitely want to get a 3, but 2s aren't out of the question either.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, this was quite of a hot debate in the Dacey community whether this was a 4 or a 3, and we ended up settling on a 3 with a lot of natural trees coming down and giving people a lot of access to the green. A couple of textbook shots. Raivis here leaking a little left, but all the way down the fairway. Should be a little obstructed, but should give himself a look at the basket for a birdie.
Yeah, for sure. I think Larry got caught up, but here comes Nate. And I love this gap, is where you yank it a little left, especially with something fast that's going to work back to the right. Doesn't get a huge skip, but it's a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those holes where as long as you carry down the fairway, the elevation will take the rest of it, and just missing those trees is key. We have you looking like you were going for a right up the gut play. Can't tell exactly where that was going, but unfortunate tree kick for you there.
Yeah, every time I try to go hard up the gap, it never seems to work out that great. But then my best misses end up going left where Nate's were, but if I ever aim over there, then it never works quite so well. So here's Larry from mid fairway. Not going to be in love with that upshot. He's still got a little left on his putt. But anytime I land here, it's like a pretty easy up and down. Just tossing a soft harp up there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a 3 here. Obviously, with the par change, a lot of us out there want to get the 2. Oh, Raivis almost giving that a 2 bid right there. Just missed it on the left side.
And here's Nate with the 2 bid. Oh, pretty close.
I mean,
I don't know. Does the par change actually affect how you play the hole?
And that's quite of the debate that we have out here with the Dacey community and the Borderland community. Does the par change the hole? I'd love for people watching this video to put it in the comments if you believe changing the par on a hole changes your strategy.
It really shouldn't. The hole didn't change at all, and everyone's just kind of going out of their minds. Par is made up. I don't think it's real. So
I think that seems to be the consensus, as you can tell, since it's now a par 3. And I would agree with you. If you're playing the hole, regardless of the par, you're still taking the same strategy, and you're just taking 1 or 2 more strokes more.
And we see Bagger Dave on the coverage right there. And Here we are at hole 11, 260 feet downhill to the left. A blind shot once you get about halfway, but really cool. Definitely one that you want to card a 2 on, because we're about to enter a tough stretch of par 4s here on the back.
Absolutely, and you really want to ride the momentum off hole 10 with this one, especially getting yourself a 2 or a 3. You really want to answer with a 2 here. As you can see, Lawrence just did exactly what you would want to see there, just putting that disc 10 feet from the basket, hitting the gap, letting it fade.
Yeah, Larry's forehand is so smooth. I am often jealous of his easy delivery. But Raivis not going to be outdone. Swings it just around the tree and then lands maybe 3 or 4 feet short of where Larry landed.
Nate here is lining up a backhand. A little wide.
Right, little wide. Oh, but it gets down there as well.
It's that Dacey love that we're talking about out there, Sam.
Yep. And I've stopped going forehand because it just never quite works as well. But this one didn't go so great either.
Yeah, I noticed that you took the backhand route on hole 5 as well. I would assume that would have been a textbook forehand play for you.
Yeah, I actually think the fairway lines up pretty nicely for it. The way, that Annie forehand I like to do, I often hit the back wall as it's coming in, or it leaks out early left. So after missing it, I don't know, 20 times in a row, I decided to start going backhand, and it's been a fun play, and it's a really cool shot when it works, but not today.
We had Nate Hartmann cashing his birdie putt there. It looks like Raivis and Lawrence are going to clean up their birdie putts as well, with you taking the unfortunate par, but, no harm, no foul there.
Well, there's a little harm. There's a little foul, because now Nate is going to take the solo lead at 12 down. I'm going to be at 11. Larry's at 11. And we've only got, 7 holes to go. So, tight finish. Here we go.
Yeah, and like you said, this is where the tough stretch of par 4s begins. We have our hole 12, par 4, 539 feet. This is a tough one. You really want to take out your distance drivers here off the tee. You want to get as far up the hill as you can to give yourself a look at the basket. And even when you do get up to the top of the hill, there's still a row of guardian trees that will make it a little difficult for you. But there'll be a couple gaps that you guys will see on either the right or the left side that a lot of people will take. Lawrence here looking like just taking his textbook backhand, giving himself solid 300 plus feet there. And we got Raivis here looking to miss these trees on the right. Looks like he did that beautifully. Yeah, and that left side there on that fairway, that's not ideal place to approach. There are ways to get through that, but you really want to land right in the middle of the fairway here. And Nate with the unfortunate tree kick there that he took.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the best birdie in Southeastern Mass to get a 3 on this hole. Maybe like 17 at Hawkins Woods would be the only comparable one, but I love this hole. It's so good. And unlike, a 3 on this, it might not earn you as many strokes as hole 3 on Dacey just because of the OB, but it is such a phenomenal hole to get a 3 on.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely love the hole design here, making sure that you are throwing a really straight disc, making it really far, making sure you're staying in the fairway, and then getting that second shot near to the green just feels so good. It seems like you executed the plan. Lawrence here, a bit in tree jail there, trying to get himself out of it. And then we have Hugh here, which I would agree is probably one of the better spots to be on this hole right off the drive, as you can see, giving yourself a really easy shot there and giving yourself looking like a late circle 1, maybe early circle 2 look there.
Yeah, my drive wasn't super far. You definitely want to be almost up to the rock, but and then I ended up throwing fairway driver down the second shot, which you definitely want to be throwing a slower disc, but it's my river and it's practically a mid-range, so and fortunate enough to hit a good gap. And then Larry, I remember this shot quite well because we thought it was going to hit about 7 different trees before it falls very close to the basket. That was a very Dacey-esque shot where sometimes you throw it right at it and it ends up perfect. So
yeah, unbelievable shot from Lawrence there, going to save the par off that, and Nate Hartmann looking like he is quite outside the circle here, always giving it a bid in classic Nate Hartmann fashion.
Yep. Oh. So after gaining the lead on the previous hole, he's going to give a couple back. And I got this for 3. I was pretty pumped because I don't think I got a 3 on this all year, and then I got it back to back at Skins and this round, which I thought was pretty wild.
And what a time to execute, Sam. I mean, coming down the stretch here, taking the birdie on hole 12 must be giving you a great momentum boost going into this stretch here.
Yeah, I really needed it. I don't think I had carded a birdie since hole 2, so ends a 9 or 10 hole streak of pars. Really needed that one.
Well executed, Sam. Hole 13, par 4. Bit of a tricky shot here. We're looking at a dog leg to the right, or I guess more of a slight dog leg to the right, but it is a very far shot, 525 feet. You're really looking to try and land either on the left or the right side of the fairway here. Landing in the middle is a very difficult shot to access the green. So you're going to see a lot of our guys here take the really skinny route up the right side here. Looks like you just did that perfectly. Oh, a bit of a tree kick. It looks like you did land in that middle.
Yeah.
That we were talking about.
Yep, I invented a word for this kind of hole where I call it the shittle. It's the stuff in the middle where you think you throw a perfect shot and that is not actually where you want to be.
It's right in the shittle. I absolutely love that term, Sam. I hope it catches on. I think it absolutely captures this hole quite well.
Yep, Raivis gonna throw the big turnover backhand. I love this hole as a turnover backhand. Sometimes I'll even throw a forehand.
That's how you do it.
Where you can get the turn and long glide down to the right. Really cool shape. You got to hit this kind of initial V, and then yeah, you're right. You gotta either keep coming right or stay left, and without unwinding too much and ending up on the far left side in those trees. But
yeah, and
Nate looks like he gets it over perfect and then hits a tree.
And that's not a bad tree kick there. I mean, where he landed is basically on the white tees. He's still going to have a look at the green here.
Yep, definitely a tough turning or late flipping shot. But you're right. Anytime you land next to a tee pad, you would think there is some kind of lane there. Find this one. Nope. Finds another tree. But looks like he'll be pretty much in the middle with a pretty easy up and down.
Yeah, and with this course here, a good drive could result in a bad tree kick. It happens all the time. Lawrence here, leaking a little left here, but still right there for a birdie look.
Yep.
Oh no!
You know, I was so happy with where that drive landed, and then at the last second, as I'm about to throw, I freak out with about that tree that's right in my swing and kind of short arm it right into the tree. Luckily, it kind of scooted a little bit, so I actually still have a putt. Drive is trying to make some magic happen, but it is not meant to be.
Finding one of those trees there.
But really, that long coasting turnover is a great way to get way up the fairway. And he'll find his way up onto the green to get his 4.
Should be an easy cleanup from here. Here we have Nate Hartmann from way downtown. No doubt in my brain that he is running this putt.
Oh, for sure.
A little wide there. I think got away from him a little bit. And we have you here lining up a birdie putt. My goodness, Sam, what a putt.
Yeah, thank you to the basket for that little catch on the right side. You know, normally from circle 2, I like to do a little straddle jumper, but just the way the rocks and roots kind of lined up, I went for the more traditional stance putt, and it's pretty jazzed to make that one. If I hadn't got up and down from that spot, that would have been pretty sad.
Lawrence right there answering as well, staying right in the mix.
Yep, so Nate's got to cash this one, no problem. But he's going to drop another stroke to Larry and I. And Rive is still battling to stay in the cash.
Great putt, Raivis.
All right, that brings us to hole 14, which is now a par 3 after the change. And this is a tough hole. Some people try that really super skinny right side gap, or you can chuck it way up in the air, have it come left or right, and hope to miss a bunch of trees.
We have you here, Sam, going with this non-traditional left hands forehand flex, which is just absolutely incredible placement with the shot that you had. Giving yourself a look for birdie there is quite a great shot.
Yeah, I think that is still my best one to date. I am annoyed at that rock because it looked like I was going to be mega parked. But,
Yeah, these rocks are pretty treacherous out here.
But yeah, that's just a defender on a bunch of ante, throwing about as hard as I can up in the air, and you just hope it misses stuff, and it pretty much did till it hit the ground.
Yeah, we have Raivis with the classic backhand turnover. We have Nate here lining up a distance forehand. If he gets a hold of this could swing enough.
Yeah, I think it's so hard to get it high enough to go right enough with something stable, but I think this is kind of a pretty common landing area when you're like 60-ish. Larry with his step putt, he is really good at those and just missed. He thought he had it, walking it in.
Yeah, this is a hole, even where Lawrence was. Oh, wow. Nate Hartmann.
Circle 2, Nate in the heart again. Is that what his last name means? He's the Heart Man.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. Unbelievable putt from Nate Hartmann from way downtown Circle 2. I know he wanted that one to stay in the mix.
Yeah, for sure. He had dropped 3 strokes in the last 2 holes, but that is certainly a good way to get one back. Raivis trying to join the party, but just off the top.
Yeah, I would give it to you because I see the circle.
And this is a big putt for you. You know, you kind of have to answer here, try to keep pace and keep yourself in the lead.
Oh wow! So, wow, that is a circle 2 putt, but that was pretty close looking. I don't know if we agree. I guess we agreed on it, but wow.
Yeah, that was right on the edge. It must have been, but if that's what you had, then the jump putt is where a lot of us would have taken with that. But regardless, you catch the putt and we move on to the next hole.
All right, here we go. Hole 15, 490 feet. You got to squeeze through this early part of the fairway, and then it's down the hill, a little bit to the left. This awesome basket on a rock with that triple tree guarding the right side of the green. You cannot land there, or you're going to have an extremely difficult putt.
Yeah, and the old traditional play is to go right up this middle gap, which we just saw you do right there, which gives yourself almost a guaranteed look for a birdie. You have the option to swing it out right wide and let it fade into the middle of the fairway, but a lot of these guys are going to take the middle gap, giving themselves a higher probability chance to land that birdie shot. And Nate there leaking a little left, probably not getting a hold of it, maybe a little bit of a misrelease from him there.
Come on, baby.
Larry not quite getting the result that he wants as he shakes his head coming off the tee pad, but always opportunity to make magic happen on your second shot.
Yeah, and this is a hole that could do that. As long as you get past the initial gap, if you kick a little left, there's plenty of routes to try and find a way to the green. That elevation will allow you to swing it out and give yourself a play to skip left and give yourself a look here. And Lawrence has got some work to do here. This is not the ideal spot to be in. There's not much of a birdie chance here. However, at Dacey, there's plenty of opportunities for some luck to happen.
Well, he's going to shoot it down the left side, and that is an absolutely phenomenal shot. And gets it pin high, but he's stuck behind that triple guardian tree right by the basket. But like absolutely a phenomenal shot to push that entire left side and keep it going straight, but downhill before its late finish is just like absolutely nuts.
Oh, and speaking of phenomenal shots, Nate there just got an unfortunate tree kick, but that was tracking towards the basket.
And here's Raivis from basically the white tee pad, which is what we've been playing recently since the tree came down on this tee pad. And I think this might be the furthest drive I've ever had. And I'm just going to swing my little Annie Harp.
I mean, effortless there. I mean, couldn't ask for a better position off the drive, giving yourself a real easy look for the birdie. Oh my God, Nate is all over this. Unbelievable. Great run from Nate Hartmann there, almost cashing it from 60, 70 feet.
All right, and here's Larry for an absolute insane trick putt. And he makes it. I could not believe this. To go like, what do you even call this? It's not quite a scuba. Just
I
like I don't even have words. But that was so amazing.
to do it on coverage on the lead card for the Daceyland Open, to execute a shot like that, as you mentioned earlier, you don't want to be on that right side. It's completely guarded by the trees. An incredible, incredible putt from Larry. I don't even know if I'd call that a putt. I still have a hard time figuring out what that was.
I'm gonna do a fadeaway.
Oh, that was awesome. And it wasn't even with his putter. He used, I think, a driver. That was so cool.
Wow, a lot of fireworks on that hole. That was a lot of fun to watch. And moving on from one of the tougher holes, going into one of the easier holes, hole 16, par 3, 227 feet. We are getting to the last 3 holes. This is a must-get birdie. You have to cash this to stay in the lead here.
Yep. And I'm going to kiss that tree, but get the absolute perfect little bounce right under the basket. So
incredible. What a great tree kick from you there. Sliding up right to the basket, giving you a carefree putt there.
Yeah, and here comes Larry with his nice forehand. And he's going to go inside route,
One time.
which I kind of like, and land right next to the basket.
Yeah, as you can see with these guys' drive, this is probably the most aced hole in Dacey's history. It seems to me like every couple weeks or almost every month during the season, someone will make a post and say that they aced hole 16. And just as you can see, it's just a textbook hyzer for our righties, and even the lefties can just throw a forehand. And as long as you get through the gap, you have a shot at hitting some metal.
Yep, I really want this one. I've come close a bunch of times, but no, none have stuck for me yet. Here's Nate, the high hyzer. I mean, any hole where it's like throw it high in the air, it seems to be a good ace hole. Here's Raivis from just outside circle. And the front rim again. I think that's
off.
Yeah, I think he's just got some tired legs. We've had a very busy weekend, and when your putts are hitting the front rim, I think that's usually the culprit. Is just a little bit tired on the legs.
Yeah, definitely not typical for Raivis as far as his putting game goes. He's an excellent putter, especially when he gets a hold of a few of them in the early rounds. He'll tend to cash out with those putts like that. But like you mentioned, a little tired, a little fatigued. Not exactly what he was looking for, but still executing and still finishing out these 18 holes. Hole 17, par 3, 283 feet. This is the stretch where you want to go birdie. You want to get the birdie on 16. You want to answer with a birdie on 17, so that you can walk in with some momentum on hole 18. Right here, we have you swinging out there. Great shot from you, Sam. Gonna give you a bit of a tester putt, but should be good to cash that from there.
Yeah, I am still don't know what disc. I think I've thrown just about every disc on my bag. You'd think it'd be an easy lefty little hyzer, but still haven't quite figured out exactly what you want to do. You want to swing it far to the right, but you got to push it pretty far, and there are just some perfectly placed trees as you're coming in. But Larry, going to go back to that G-Star Rhino. He's going to get down there, but still in circle 2, I'm pretty sure. Nate going forehand, doesn't seem to love that shot. And Raivis going to go turnover putter, which I think is a pretty good play. You got to get around this first tree, but once you do that, it seems to sit up nice for a lot of right shots.
Seems to be the local play. A lot of our locals that come out and play leagues, I tend to see more backhand turnovers than I do forehands on this hole. It seems the way the fairway shapes that you're looking for an Annie from a backhand to get you to the green better than a forehand dump.
Yep, and then with no real birdie luck, Nate's going to try to pitch up, but barring any kind of crazy disaster, he's going to have a hard time pushing for the win as he has to make this to even save his par.
Yeah, and it's tough going in the hole 17. Him 2 strokes back. It's he's gonna be looking for you and Lawrence to make a mistake on hole 18. And
Right.
we have Lawrence here, the circle 2 putt.
Jumper and the chase down right in the heart. Absolutely clutch putt, totally perfect. Look, he's just following it right in. He knows it.
I mean, couldn't have executed it at the perfect time, knowing that your parts are close for a birdie. Had to make the putt to stay within one with you going to 18. Absolutely phenomenal putt from Lawrence Warwick.
Absolutely. And I'm not quite parked. I got a interesting putt. I'm not that far away, but I got to go around the tree and just off the front rim. I'm annoyed I didn't make it, but relieved I didn't roll anywhere. And we're going into hole 18 with a stroke, and this is a hole that I feel like I should 3 every time. So I'm feeling confident as we head into the last one. Just go push it pretty straight, gentle fading right, all the way onto this awesome, most beautiful green under the nice tree and these beautiful wood chips. Such a great hole.
Yeah, coined as probably the signature hole at Dacey here. We have Lawrence here, and you're going to see a roller play here from Lawrence. I mean, this is phenomenal. I mean, to get through here, this is just perfectly executed.
Yeah, it was really great shot, and I think it's nice that it kind of wiped out. It kind of kept him in the little, and then I let this go and couldn't believe it. Just a little too high. You just catch that tree every time and fall down. And I am like, uh-oh, Larry is way up there.
Yeah, we got some fireworks here on hole 18. I mean, with you back where you were, you're looking at a potential birdie if you're lucky. Obviously, it's still there for you, but you've definitely got some work to do. And Lawrence is way up the fairway. He should have a real easy look there to get himself a birdie.
Yeah, I think if that drive goes under that branch, it's like almost guaranteed birdie. But from where I am, certainly still birdieable. But it's going to require a much trickier shot. And
Yeah.
here's Nate ripping that low forehand screamer. Want to get the big skip, but
looks like he didn't get much of a skip out of there.
No.
But as you can see, there's still a gap he could hit here. It is a very tight window. You have to throw something pretty overstable to swing around the gap here, and unbelievable. I mean, that is just incredible.
Yeah, really great shot. And here's Raivis. Here's the more typical what you're going to see instead of a forehand, he's going to go thumber and pushes out into the green area. Not quite a putt, but easy up and down. Get his 4. And so instead of going left side swing, I'm going to go down the right side, tight gap.
You're kidding me, Sam.
Yeah, and then a nice little kick out. But yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I was just feeling confident. And here's Larry.
A roller? Oh no.
I think at this point all of our jaws were on the absolute floor.
I
there's
don't
my hands
know.
on my head. Yeah, well, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, look where he is, Sam. I mean, he is that birdie is pretty much gone.
Yep, I talked to him after the round, and as politely as you can say it, you're like, bro, what was that? And he says that's the play he's practiced when he comes out here. He goes roller on 18. So the man had a plan and he stuck to it, but just didn't quite work out.
And here we have you here, which I'm sure you're feeling the nerves here. This is a putt for the win.
Well, no, so Larry's getting a 4, so all I need is a 4, and this is a putt to get
that's
3
right.
to win
That's
by
right.
2. But I honestly was trying to treat it like it was a putt for the win and wanted to make it anyways, but it chains out. But yeah, it was a crazy finish to a crazy round. I mean,
unbelievable. My mistake there with the your putt being for the win. I mean, if Lawrence had put his disc in the circle and you missed that putt, we'd be looking at a playoff here.
Yeah, and I keep telling myself that if it was more pressure, I would have made it, but that actually makes no sense. So,
Yeah.
but Larry just with like an insane putt on 15,
There you go.
an insane putt on 17, and then I still don't. Not in love with the play, but Larry did what he wanted to do, so maybe next time he'll make a different choice. But it was a exciting finish to a pretty crazy round. So
Unbelievable. I mean, there was some exciting couple holes at the end. Congratulations, Sam, on being our 2023 Daceyland MPO champion. I know this has been something that I've assumed you had already, but I'm glad you finally have one.
Yeah, I was pretty close in 2022, but Shane pulled out the dub, and this is definitely one I look forward to every year. But pretty much the only tournament, singles tournament at Dacey, and anytime we get mix in some Borderland, I'm all for it. So, and a super awesome event. You guys have grown it from like what feels like a small tournament to a pretty big event with some awesome payouts. Cool coverage. Couldn't thank you guys enough for all the hard work you guys put in on the course. And I got to shout out Shane, who is also my boss, for sponsoring the tournament at Wyatt Works. So if you guys ever need work done, hit us up and we'll come out and do some work at your place.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. And that concludes the 2023 Daceyland Open. See you guys next year.